Yo, what up, people? Thank you for tuning in to Straight Off the Rip with your boy Tony the Hitman. Once again, this song. Without further ado, I just want to say, man, it's a sad day, man, because it's just sad, man. You have Joe McKnight, who just been murdered by a guy who is known for having a bad temperament. And I'm gonna give you a rundown about both individuals, and I want you guys to judge, because I don't want to make it seem like it's a black or white thing. Okay, so I want you guys to judge just off briefly what I'm going to read to you guys from the New York Times. All right, and then you can judge and see what's going on with each individual. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Joe McKnight. Okay, Mr. McKnight dominated high school football in River Ridge, Louisiana, a suburb of New Orleans. His speed and versatility at the University of Southern California impressed the New York Jets enough for the team to select him in the 4th round of the 2010 NFL Draft. Mr. McKnight played 3 years for the Jets. He was released in 2013, played 2 more NFL games for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2014. In February, he signed with the Edmonton Eskimos of the Canadian Football League, and most recently played for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Excuse me, I don't know those names, but excuse me. Mr. McKnight had been in contact with Minnesota Vikings about a possible NFL comeback and was working at a mental health facility. Jonathan McKnight, his brother, told WGNO, a local TV station. His sister, Jonathan McKnight, described him to WDSU as a family man. Okay, and they went on to say, "We knew our brother touched a lot of people," she said. "We just want everyone to remember the good that my brother has done and remember who he was." Okay, pause. Not too bad. Don't show any priors of him, because you know the first thing that these people try to do is assassinate your character, try to pull up your background. But however, he don't have no priors. Not saying he was a bad person in school, in the neighborhood, worked at a mental facility, none of that. No trouble. Okay, so they can't go on that. Now let's describe who is Ronald Gasser. Again, I don't want this to seem like this is, a black and white thing, so I'm gonna give it to you guys straightforward. Alright, so on with it. Mr. Gasser is the owner of a telecommunications firm and a real estate business, according to the New Orleans Advocate. In February 2006, he was charged with simple battery after a confrontation with another that began at the same intersection in Louisiana where Mr. McKnight was shot. A 51-year-old man had called 911 to report that the man behind the wheel of a red pickup was driving unsafely. The man turned out to be Mr. Gasser, and a verbal altercation ensued. Mr. Gasser followed the man to a service station where Mr. Gasser confronted him and began to strike him with a closed fist several times, the police said. The charge was later dismissed. Now that's all they have on Mr. Gasser, and I'm reading this straight from the New York Times. Okay? Now, here we go. It's crazy because, okay, I'm just going to go into what really happened. What happened that day on December the 2nd, 2016. Mr. McKnight was shot 3 times at about 2:45 p.m. Thursday in Terrytown, Louisiana, about 5 miles southeast of New Orleans. Sheriff Norman said the confrontation began after both drivers were driving erratically, cutting each other off at zipping in front of each other, according to Mr. Gasser and witnesses. Mr. Gasser said he became irate and engaged in a verbal altercation with the football player. When they stopped next to each other at a red light, Mr. Knight got out of his car and approached Mr. Gasser's car window. Mr. Gasser then pulled out a handgun from between his seat and console and shot Mr. Knight, Sheriff Norman said. Mr. Gasser told the police he had feared Mr. Knight, but witnesses disputed elements of his account, Sheriff Norman said. Sheriff Norman revealed that Mr. Knight had a gun in his car, but that both the gun and the car belonged to his stepfather. There was no indication that Mr. Knight had suggested during the confrontation that he had a weapon, Sheriff Norman said. So, when you have this outrage going on right now across the state of New Orleans, really everywhere, because of this here, and everybody's saying, this is why everybody's saying that this is a racist situation. So we're going to go into that, why people are outraged about this. Now, local NAACP leaders, former football teammates of McKnight, and social media users expressed anger over officials' decision to free Mr. Gasser. Initially, without charging him, they said that they believe he would not have been freed if he were black, and that justice would be less swift because Mr. Knight was black. We think a black man was lynched yesterday, Morris Reed, the president of New Orleans branch of the NAACP, said at a news conference on Friday. We are demanding some answers. Mo Reed Jr., a lawyer, said of Mr. Gasser on Friday, "There's nothing that could have happened yesterday at 3 p.m. in broad daylight on the Louisiana highway in front of many people passing back and forth in front of a gas station that would make this man feel that he was in danger of losing his life." Okay. Now, if he shot this guy and he approached his car, Joe McKnight approached Mr. Gasser's car, got out and approached him at this light, and he don't have any weapon in his hand. Why would you resort to killing the guy 3 times? That lets me know, that just my assumption that you wanted to do that anyway, and you already had a problem of anger issues anyway, because you followed the guy some miles to a gas station, got out, and then had an altercation with him, punched the guy. Okay, a guy you don't even know. You followed him. So your day was numbered anyway. It was coming to this point. You was gonna eventually, this was gonna happen to you. So I'm gonna let you guys know why Mr. Gasser wasn't charged immediately too, and I'm also give you guys some little history on parish. What is this here in Louisiana? The parish police department or county in Louisiana, New Orleans, they have a very bad record, man, when it comes to blacks, and I'm only gonna pull up and let you guys know some facts about these people. Okay, so here we go. Without further ado, why Mr. Gasser wasn't charged immediately for killing Joe McKnight. Sheriff Norman said that on Thursday night, investigators only had a statement from Mr. Gasser and no corroborating or contradictory statements from witnesses. A key witness did not come forward until Saturday, he said, and officials were still trying to find others. Charging Mr. Gasser Thursday would have compromised the ability to prosecute him. Mr. Gasser did not have a lawyer at the time, he said. In this state, whether we like it or not, we have a very forward-leaning, stand your ground, self-defense, justifiable homicide laws, he said. That creates for us an obligation to make sure that we get it right. Investigators have conducted crime scene reenactments talked to more witnesses, located videos, and interviewed Mr. Gasser again with the benefit of forensic evidence, Sheriff Norman said. Justice has no time period, he said. Justice is not a sprint. It is a marathon. These investigations are marathons. Critics have pointed to similar case from April when Will Smith, a former defensive end for the New Orleans Saints who was black, was shot and killed after a vehicle collision. In that case, Cordell Hayes, who is black, was arrested at the scene and charged with second-degree murder. He is currently on trial. The sheriff angrily pushed back at the suggestion that race was a factor in Mr. Gasser's case. When a reporter asked if he had understood the concerns of the black community, he cited statistics on black murders and said that people should not make this out to be something that it is not. If we were just going to look at statistically, I'm sorry guys, your fear, what you're trying to articulate right now is misdirected, he said. So that sums it up basically why they didn't charge Mr. Gasser immediately. Number one. Now, this is the same city, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana County, basically, where Will Smith, defensive end, New Orleans Saints, black guy was shot by another black guy. They didn't release him. Okay. So, and they charged him. They immediately charged him, arrested him at the scene, and charged him with second-degree murder. Okay. So that was black on black. Now we speaking on black crime. Don't you notice? Okay, excuse me, white people. I'm not prejudiced. All you white people always want to say, "Well, why y'all killing each other? Y'all killing each other." Even if we all killing each other, that don't give you no right to kill me. It's just like me and my brother fighting. That don't give you no right to jump in and start helping me beat my brother up. Okay? You got to be stupid to think that justifies you jumping in, helping me beat my brother up because us two are fighting. I know. I just had to dumb it down for you guys. I know that can't, that's equally unbalanced, but it makes sense. And I'm gonna tell you something else, white people. If another brother killed another brother, it's something that brother did to him, and he felt like that was justifiable. Y'all acting like we killing each other just to be killing each other, which doesn't make it right, but that's not the case. But on the other hand, you guys are killing us with vengeance. See, I read between the lines. I read between your lines. Jefferson Parish, Louisiana County, you guys, excuse me, are prejudiced, very prejudiced. You are the same guys that convicted C. Murder, the rapper, when the 16-year-old boy got murdered in Louisiana. You guys convicted that man just because his rap name, his alias name was C. Murder. You gave him life in prison. Okay? You're the ones that also, when the black man died down there, they found his body in the river. You guys joked about it and said that he stole too much chain that he could carry. So, and he had too much chain. So you found his body. Basically, you guys drowned him with chain wrapped around his feet, like you back in the lynching days, slavery days. That's what y'all did to black men, the early 50s. You understand what I'm saying? So, and you trying to make it justifiable and try to say we're trying to make this out of something that it's not. But the evidence proves that you guys don't fight fairly, or you're not standing by the justice system that was set in place. You understand what I'm saying? And plus, if you knew this guy, I know you guys did his background check when you guys questioned him. You knew that he had an altercation with another guy on road rage, that he followed this guy, got out and had a physical altercation with this guy, and you still released him. And whatever happened to the 48 hours that you guys have in Louisiana? What happened to that law? When you guys supposed to hold him for 48 hours? See, this is all wrong, Jefferson Parish. You guys are prejudiced, and now you're mad because they called you out. We know what the deal is. We know what the deal is. We see straight through you guys. But you know, I ain't gonna keep going on about it. I want you guys to just look at these pictures that I'm gonna post, and I want you guys to make your judgment at Ronald Gasser, who was charged with fatally shooting the NFL player Joe McKnight in Louisiana. See, this guy looks like he's angry, man. This guy looks like he's angry. Yeah, he's an angry soul, bro. You know, and that's just what it is. So I want you guys to check this out, and it's sad, but it's very true. It's so true. This is what we up against, black people. Wake up. These white people out here, prejudiced white people, think that they can just do whatever they want to do with us, say whatever they want to say to us, because Trump is in office. And Trump, this president that y'all elected, is allowing this. He's starting this off. I'm telling you guys, he's starting this off. Because look how rude he is. Look what he says. Okay? But you guys check it out. And I'm going to post a link, you know, about how all of a sudden, how this sheriff, he's all of a sudden mad now because of what people are saying about them, about their department. So check this out. Check this out. And I want y'all to hear this, what he's saying.
Because it's not fair. It's not fair for him to be called, you punk-ass Uncle Tom Coon. We saw you sell out to them, you rat-ass faggot punk. That's the tone of what we're calling our elected leaders for standing up and simply saying, let justice prevail and let the process take its course. To go on to say, you ass-kissing faggot that has done little to our community.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pivot from this, what has been. First of all, let me apologize for some.
Now, you see this? This is the type of stuff that Donald Trump is allowing. When do an elected leader, which is this guy here for Jefferson Parish, when did they ever get on TV and start speaking like that? Sheriff Norman, that doesn't show that you're a leader. And you think the people are not angry? You get on live TV, MSNBC, and use foul language, and you guys try to call us black people ratchet, uncontrollable. Y'all have the most history of outrage. You people kill your own kids. You slaughter your own families. You murder for money. It's proof, it's evident that you guys, and look, I'm gonna tell you something. If you look at Ronald Gasser, they say these white people with blonde hair and blue eyes, they're the devil. Hey man, Hitler said it. Think about it. You guys need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate white people, but I'm just, you know, we better get it together, guys. I'm gonna tell you guys something about me. I'd rather sit behind jail and rot than let the next man tell my story because I got shot by a punk or a coward. You understand? So y'all take that however you want to take it. You feel me? But this is straight off the rip with your boy Tony the Hitman. Y'all leave y'all comment. I appreciate you listening. Tell me what you think about this situation. Subscribe, please. Hit the link, the like button, and don't forget to hit the notification button because I'm definitely gonna bring it to you real every time. No holds barred, no filter. You feel me? I'm out. Brutally honest. Peace. Y'all have a good one.